last 25 years, I've had the privilege of interviewing and highlighting some truly interesting people. Everyone who is anyone, both the famous and the infamous, from presidents and their first ladies to kings and queens, movie stars and pop stars, captains of industry, heads of state, sports personalities, innovative entrepreneurs, and some pretty fascinating everyday people. Today, I am proud to introduce you to Patricia Watts, whose passion is to use her skill, talent, and experience to help give young girls the opportunities to pursue their dreams and goals, and in turn, help them shape their future. What an outstanding goal and mission that is. I know it is the goal and mission of WEModel USA. So let's start with the basics. What is WEModel USA and how did a military veteran come to found it?
Thank you, Star Jones. First of all, I want to say that yes, a military veteran, someone that put away their combat boots and pulled out their stilettos. WeModel USA is a women empowerment-led platform that promotes aspiring models by offering international cultural experiences and opportunities while simultaneously spreading awareness and spearheading the fight against human sex trafficking, the second highest crime globally. And we got started actually after serving 22 years in the military. I still felt a passion to give back. I felt like my purpose was not over, and I knew that God had greater things for me. And with that, I actually led a magazine called Her Life magazine, a national-led magazine. And what that did was promoted women that were doing significant things in the DC metropolitan area. I did a lot of social media with that, and that brought brand ambassadors. Those brand ambassadors that came to my monthly events actually started becoming more and more modelistic. So that brought the cameramen that came out to actually look at our events. With that, Washingtonians started coming out. In 2015, I actually took 4 females over to Italy, and they actually competed on the runway in an international competition. 2 of the females won first and second prize. With that, one of the females actually signed a contract on the spot and stayed over in Italy. Now she's on one of the top modeling companies. And that's what started WeModel USA. We model, the we and we model stands for women empowerment.
That is awesome. I mean, just following through is the epitome of when preparation meets opportunity. So, what would you say is the goal of the organization?
The goal of the organization is twofold. One is actually to encourage women that they could be whatever they want to be. When they actually go out for stuff, it just seems like they're suppressed in so many ways, have so many obstacles. Well, this is actually to take females that probably never been outside the United States, allow them to be on one of the top fashion industry runways, and actually to present themselves as they see themselves, beautiful, strong, intelligent. And I think that that is the beginning of them knowing that they can achieve whatever they want to. The second goal is actually when it comes to the human trafficking. I am a strong believer that if we connect, we can protect. And I state that because there are too many women, too many children, too many young boys that is being exploited for self purposes, which is a horrendous crime. And it's so long that we in the United States really turned our back against it. We didn't think that it was going to touch home. But that global epidemic of human sex trafficking is right in our backyard. And if we don't do nothing, my 5-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday is in risk of actually being a victim of one of these sex crimes, which I cannot afford to happen.
Right. You know, Patricia, when you say it's in our backyard, it's next door to us also. And I think what you are highlighting is an issue that men and women globally really have to put on their front burners. Are there any upcoming events that you'd like to talk about and share? Because these are the things that really bring attention to your mission and your goal.
Yes, actually, thank you, Star, for asking that question. On my platforms, WeModel USA, I don't care if you go on Instagram, Facebook, or just type it in Google, you will see my presence on there, and you will see that I am always talking about human sex trafficking and us to connect. So I ask everyone to actually log on to my website and register. In September, I'm going to have a charity event in which I have every year to actually bring more awareness of it in the DC area. I have already written to the White House, and my pledge to the White House is to actually get behind my campaign, which is every community should have something like a neighborhood watch, but they should be actually reporting and making sure that children are not afraid to get off the bus and actually walk home, not at the mall and thinking that they can get snatched as soon as they get to the parking lot. If you see something, you got to report it. And then we've been in this pandemic for over a year. As I mentioned before, every year I take my the girls overseas. I actually run a competition and actually nationwide so that females can register. Once they register, the only commitment they have to do is to spread human trafficking.
You
Because
mean spread information about awareness of human trafficking?
that's correct. That's correct. And so that we are able to educate and protect. In January to March, depending on South Africa and their vaccination ratio, my goal is to take 8 to 10 models, aspiring models, over to South Africa, conduct a model event, but also have the message, the campaign message of we gotta stop human sex trafficking. That's one of the areas that is problematic at.
So you all have been spreading awareness about human trafficking across the world, um, and you sort of started off by talking to us about some of the things we should be aware of. Tell me a little bit more about this important mission.
Yes, so the mission of countering human sex trafficking is first recognizing it just doesn't just happen. There are all kind of indications with the victims that are going on. Their isolation, the scars, the abuse, their ability to not talk, and while somebody else looks like is controlling them. All of these are things that we have to be aware of. We also have to be aware of that there should be checklists and oversight of those facilities that we trust our children with. The child care centers, the schools, the churches, all of those are areas where we really put our guards down, that we need to keep alert and to make sure that there's not suspicious activities that's going on. And then the last thing that we have to do is that if we see something, we just have to report it. That's not snitching. It's not doing anything, just but making sure that everything is in order and that we are going to be able to expose those that are victimizing our children
You
and
know,
women.
I'm just fascinated by your background. Also, such an important mission, but your background in the military exposed you to so many different issues, to a point where you were a contributor to Miss Holly's book, Camouflaged Sisters, as I understand. Speak a little bit about your experience in the military and how that has really shaped you into the woman that you've become.
Yes, I dedicate a lot of my success to my early years of spending 22 years in the military, and I can tell you, if anyone has seen it, I think I have seen it. But I think it made me strong in areas that I thought things that I thought I couldn't do, and then I think that it made me care for things and people that I didn't think I had the ability to care for. I can tell you that in 2005, I was serving in Afghanistan, and I had 177 troops that were under my leadership. I knew that they were complacent sitting inside the wire. I have an intelligence background, and what I did know that we could do more. I knew that the enemy, and they hated Americans. But what I thought that was valuable was to actually go into their neighborhood. So we started a caregiving service where we actually loaded up trucks and took clothes, took toys, took food to the local villages and gave them out. When you saw the smiles on the faces of the children, they didn't hate us. They loved what we were doing, and it gave my soldiers a sense of purpose of being there for more than just fighting and in battle.
Are there any other ventures that you're involved with? Because something tells me you're like me. We just don't sleep. We've got to be busy.
Well, Star, you are aspiring, and so anyone that knows you and follow your footsteps, you know that there's way more that we can contribute to. And so I do feel like I build off of everything that I do. I am currently still with the U.S. government, over 30 something years total, and I work for the State Department as the Director of Technology, which I feel is a blessing within itself. And I feel like this: whatever God gives you, no one else can take away. And sometimes you may not even come in with the actual experience or the background to get into these positions. But once you are in these positions, you always just give your best. And so that's what I continue to do. And I tell you that the skills and the expertise and the background that I have achieved from it is nothing less than the grace of God, and I thank Him for that. And the last thing that I would like to mention is that I am a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. So love
Oh,
my
I can tell by the colors that you're wearing. And also, I wore my yellow for you today. And normally, I would be in pink and green, but I wore my yellow for you today.
thank you. Yes.
So, for those who don't know, Sigma Gamma Rho, Patricia Watts's amazing sisterhood, and Alpha Kappa Alpha, my amazing sisterhood, are a part of what we consider to be the Divine Nine, and they are the oldest Black women-led organizations that are service and community oriented, that were founded by and primarily for women of color in the United States. And so the training that we got as members of these amazing sisterhoods, I have to tell you, really has given me everything that I have in terms of a platform and a foundation. I have to imagine you've had the same experience, Patricia.
Chapter is in Dubai, but it goes with what my purpose is in life as well. So I am really excited about all that I've been introduced in the last couple of months, and I can't wait until our 100th anniversary next year.
How fantastic is that? As a matter of fact, I actually read in the past you've said that you wanted to live your life with a purpose. Since you just brought up purpose, what is that purpose currently? And then let us in. How do you fulfill it?
So I think I fulfill it with everything I do. But my main focus is creating outlets of trusted networks and where women can actually go for help, to go for support, to can advocate for whatever they want to be in life. And it's people like me, people of color, that feel like there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your goal. And that's my purpose, and it's actually a global one. Even though I talk about African Americans because I'm proud to be one, my platform is for everyone.
I have to tell you, Patricia, that is a lofty and admirable goal on your part, and an amazing purpose, because I've always been someone who feels that we are always searching for purpose, and our purpose, every single one of us, is to serve. It's up to us to figure out what our best manner of service is, and you certainly have done that. What's the one thing you'd like the viewer of this video feature to walk away with today?
Yes, Star. And actually, I hope you too, is to follow WEModel USA. I feel like we together can protect and can enable women to be the best that they can be. I don't live for myself. I live for my children's children, but making a safer and a better place for them, looking at our future leaders of tomorrow. And I just ask that everyone just become members of WEModel USA, and let's join hands and make a better world for us all.
What a wonderful, wonderful way to end this conversation. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your dedication, and best wishes with WEModel USA.
Thank you so much.